win Euro 2000. Van Gaal's selection has been described as the weakest Dutch team of the last 20 years. No Bergkamp, David, Stam or Overmars for starters. He recalls Richard Witschke for his first appearance in 3 years and awards a first cap to Wilfried Baume. He was very relieved yesterday when Patrick Kluivert, the joint top marksman at Euro 2000, declared himself fit despite a foot injury. The four-man defence includes Frank de Boer, who returns to the arena for the first time since missing 2 penalties in the semi-final shootout against Italy. Witschke's likely to play in the Bergkamp role just behind Kluivert. Cocu and Bosvelt will operate either side of him. Mick McCarthy is not normally given to springing surprises, but he's certainly staggered a few pundits by plumping for Blackburn's Jason McAteer on the right side of midfield in preference to Leeds' Gary Kelly. His only other poser was Kilban or Duff on the left of midfield. He's gone for Kilban's defensive qualities. Just as Van Gaal breathed a sigh of relief over Kluivert, so McCarthy was delighted when the influential Roy Keane declared himself ready to play with a pain-killing injection, and it's a 4-4-2 formation, with Niall Quinn and Robbie Keane the dual spearhead. Tonight's referee, Lubos Mikel of Slovakia. So the scene set here in this magnificent arena. And the Irish have Richard Dunne playing his first competitive international at a time when he's out of favour at Goodison Park. He hasn't started a game this season and now lands up against Patrick Kluivert. Kluivert, who won a European Cup final, has scored 28 international goals and was in prime form at the European Championships. Ireland's answer to him, well, maybe Robbie Keane, Inter Milan's new £13 million man. His record of 6 strikes in 18 games bears comparison with any. The Irish, of course, in green, and the Dutch in what else but orange. On a lovely evening here, but it was pouring with rain earlier this afternoon, so it will be a little greasy down there. And well, the word is that the Dutch are very keen to get Louis van Gaal's reign off with a victory, obviously, in this World Cup qualifier. But the feeling also may be that this is the perfect time for the Irish to come here. Gary Bree has never let his country down. A little touch forward by Niall Quinn. Quinn winning his 80th cap tonight. Only 4 players have won more than that in the history of the nation. And alongside me is Joe Kinnear, a man who represented his country on many occasions. And is this the perfect night for the Irish to be here, Joe?
Well, things have certainly gone in their favour as far as selection is concerned. When you look at the quality of players that are missing from the Dutch team tonight, I think most of all, the main miss for the Dutch team tonight will be Overmars and Bergkamp. Bergkamp obviously through retirement, and Overmars that electric pace that he's got wide left. Always a good outlet to have. And of course, how do you replace a Bergkamp? Nigh on impossible. So if Ireland have got an opportunity, I think it will be tonight.
A little clip of the heel of Stephen Carr there. So the referee has awarded the free kick. Carr in at right back with McAteer the right side of midfield, and no place, very surprisingly, for Leeds United's Gary Kelly, especially as his club side have had a 100% start to their season. Alan Kelly, whose father, of course, played for the Republic in your days, Joe.
Yes, I was player that played in 10 years in front of his father. Great goalkeeper. I'm glad to see the sons following the same footsteps.
Nudge forward, but it'll go straight through to Edwin van der Sar, the Juventus goalkeeper, who is the regular #1 for the Dutch nowadays. Hit high towards Kluivert, who touched it on with his head and then picked up the rebound himself. Wide with Baume, the new man from PSV. All new internationals want a touch of the ball very early in the game. They can just get a feel of international football. Through towards Kluivert again, blocked. Cocu. Jason McAteer just getting his foot in there. Was that a surprise to you, Joe, the preference for McAteer to Gary Kelly?
Well, I have to say it was, really, and also the shape of the team, really, because I don't think both wide players are not the best defensive players. Jason McAteer likes to get himself forward, as does Kilbane, and I think the Irish team haven't got too much protection other than Keane in front of them. and that might be a worrying area.
Good scuttling back here by Kevin Kilban, the Sunderland wide player, referred to Damien Duff, who was one of those on the bench. The Irish have named 7 substitutes. They have the ball, but, quickly conceded. So here is Frank de Boer, one of the 2 twins, the younger one by 15 minutes.
And whether Gary Kelly's carrying an injury.
Oh, and a bad mistake by de Boer there. Sorry to interrupt, Joe, but de Boer finding himself dispossessed. Well, you just wonder if it might just get through to him coming back here to the arena. He was devastated by the 2 penalty misses here against the Italians.
Yeah, I should think that would haunt him now for the rest of his life. And Lapati is very angry with himself, as we can see there. Getting off to a shaky start.
The crowd let him know too. To Robbie Keane. Chance early for the Irish to put in some pressure, but I think Clivett will relieve that pressure, and a sharp turn from him, but it's knocked back by Roy Keane.
Of course, John, you know, the Dutch players, you know, the expectation level, playing in front of their own fans, new players as well, new system, new shape to the team, you know, a lot of expectation there, a lot of nerves in the side, so Ireland can come really and more or less relax and try and play a little bit disciplined themselves.
Well, it's amazing, the Irish have not played in Amsterdam since 1934. You weren't around then, Joe, I know that. Well, they do have a recent victory over the Dutch. A 1-0 win with a Tommy Coyne winner back in 1994. Here is Carr, who's had such an impressive start to his season at Spurs. And this one straight into the hands of Van der Sar. And now Bert Kunterman. There's the Glasgow Rangers these days. So many Dutchmen have been taken there, of course, by Dick Advocaat. Bouwman. Back by the other Rangers player, Van Bronckhorst, to Frank de Boer. Reiziger losing out to Kilban. Michael Reiziger's not really endeared himself to the Irish camp with his suggestion this week that the Dutch players might do their level best to get Roy Keane sent off. That's a very unprofessional thing for him to have said.
Very much so. It's and not only that, the Irish players just might use that as a motivation factor to ram some a good decent result back down his throat, but it's very unusual that you would think that professional players would come out and actually say that about fellow professionals.
There goes Robbie Keane. Ran straight into Bosvelt there, no question of a foul. Amazing to think that Robbie Keane is only 20 years of age and already worth £13 million. Before this week's edict.
Yeah, been involved in something up to what, £18 million of the transfer fees. So.
There goes Ronald de Boer, the ball in towards Clivett, and just off his line in time, Alan Kelly. The first hint of danger to the Irish goal. And Mick McCarthy scribbling away. Already trying to impart the information he's jotted down. I can't believe that managers can get messages over to players in the noise of stadiums like this.
No, and impossible, John. It makes you feel better when you think you are.
There's a good clearing header there from Dunn, but it's back with Ronald de Boer, then with Vichka. Swung with that lazy left boot of his across to Van Bronckhorst. Oh, Robbie Keane, a lovely touch now. Has he got the pace to get away from Van Bronckhorst too? You look up and see Niall Quinn in the penalty area. Touched forward by Kinsella. Then Roy Keane. A lovely touch from Robbie Keane that took him away from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst initially. Now it's Kilban who measures a good cross in. Here comes Niall Quinn, and that may just have flicked the outside of the Dutch upright. Niall Quinn soaring into the header, and the referee has given the corner. Good cross from Kilban.
Terrific cross from Kilban, and there's Niall Quinn picking up his position that we've seen so often in the Premiership in the back post. Just an inch too wide. Crashes on the inside, at the outside of the post there, but it just shows you Kilban has got the legs of Richgena and can get those crosses in.
Van der Sar's probably happy in one sense that the referee thinks he made a save there. I don't think he touched the ball. Anyway, it's corner for the Irish. They'll have another now. Niall Quinn bound to be a menace in the air.
Yeah, that goal would have given them the record, wouldn't it?
It would.
Had it gone in, I should say.
It would have taken him clear of Frank Stapleton. Joint top scorers with 20 for their country. This one will flash across and goes up into the air off the left boot of Vichka. Headed into the sort of right wing position here and picked up by Ian Hart, who will work it in, and that is brought down very stupidly and unceremoniously by Van Bronckhorst. Now I would think that Hart might want to take revenge here. He's got a very tasty left foot.
Yeah, Ian Hart, very dangerous at set plays. Yeah, certainly a tug back on the shirt there. Pulled Ian Hart. Very dangerous position, only inches outside the penalty.
Well, incredibly, although Hart is ostensibly a defender, he scored 8 goals in pre-season matches for Leeds, including a hat-trick at Blackburn Rovers. This would be a very timely moment for him to beat Van der Sar. He's not showed unconfidence, Ian Hart. And he's got the bend, and it's a foot over the top. He's one of the most lethal dead ball specialists in the Premier League.
Just curls it there with his left foot, going for that near post, and just a foot out. Great left back, Ian Hart. I've seen him numerous occasions stick them in the top corner for Leeds in the Premiership. I'd have loved to see that one go in.
Touched wide by Bosford. Reisiger. No progress made by Cocu this time. Now Vichka, who plays here for Ajax. Van Bronckhorst. Wide with Baum. De Boer, who has not been in great form in the last season at Barcelona. Free kick awarded against Kluivert, another Barcelona player, of course. Well, Van Gaal, coming into this job, at least knows most of these players very well.
Yes, it's amazing that
amazing what, Joe?
It just took me off of the game there. I was going to do that. He's left out Jimmy Hasselbank from Chelsea. You know, when he's spoiled for so many talented strikers, here's a player that's playing in the Premiership for over £12 million and can't even get himself on the bench.
Well, maybe there's a bit of history between Van Gaal and Hasselbank that we don't know about. What we do know is that the Irish have a free kick, and Hart will belt this one across. Not thinking about a goal from that, and especially not now, as the Slovakian referee awards the free kick for the Dutch.
He's Hasselbank, going back to Hasselbank, he's proven himself when he was out in Spain. He's a prolific goal scorer. He done exceptionally well when he was at Leeds, and you would think that he would get a nod to at least be in the squad, but no, that's only my opinion.
Pierre van Hooijdonk was, of course, called up earlier in the week, but is not listed among the substitutes today by Louis van Gaal. Who played with Jaap Stam in Dutch league days, to Willem II in particular. Now Van Bronckhorst. You always expect the Dutch to pass the ball around, and Reisiger will put his foot on the pedal here and steam in past the first line of defence, and it flashes past the right-hand upright. Alan Kelly went across there. Well, Reisiger has only ever scored once in over 40 appearances, but this is close.
Yeah, powerful run there. Just inches away there, just bounced off the greasy surface. I think Alan Kelly, to be fair, had it covered. But here's Reisinger just trying to prove himself there. Burst forward, showed a lot of pace.
2 years ago since that strike against the Germans.
Just shows you, John, that the ball's zipping off the ground there after the torrential rain that we've had all day.
The free kick conceded by Jason McAteer, who hasn't actually finished a game for Blackburn Rovers this season. He's been substituted in each of the last 3 matches.
Yeah, you could, when you can think that Gary Kelly is playing regular, and still, there you are. Every manager, that's what management's all about, John. Having your opinion and being brave enough to stick by your selections.
Kinsella. For Hart, who is a regular Premier League player, so is Kinsella now, of course, with Charlton Athletic. And typical Niall Quinn, that just doing enough there to make sure that Kunterman has to put the ball out of play for the Irish throw-in.
John, I'll tell you something, every time I see Kinsella like there, I nudge myself. I must have had 24 opportunities.
Good cross in towards Keane.
To buy him when he was playing for Colchester.
You missed out.
Absolutely missed out. 150,000 to Charlton. Arguably Charlton's best ever buy.
Robbie Keane looks very sharp, and he's had a good beginning to his Inter Milan career, and they've taken this one sharply. McAteer across here. The header over the top is from Dunn. Big imposing lad, isn't he, Richard Dunn? He's only 20 years of age.
Big strong lad, and Ireland do look dangerous at set plays.
Wrested down by Ronald de Boer, who is not going to get a free kick. The referee unimpressed, and to be fair to de Boer, he doesn't try to make anything of it either.
That's true there. Just a flick on by Kluiverts, wasn't it? And de Boer there's come inside Ian Hart. Ian Hart's got to be aware of that, his defensive duties, as well as getting himself forward.
When failing to kid Frank de Boer. Let's have a look here at Ronald de Boer getting to the edge of the area there. A heart-stopping moment for Ian Hart, but he did win the ball very fairly.
Yeah, played the ball there, and de Boer just sort of lost his footing.
Good refereeing. Let's give Mr. Mikel credit where credit is due.
Oh, don't get carried away, John.
And Quinn has twisted on a header. And, no power in the final effort from Kinsella, who does have a Premier League goal to his credit already this season. He scored against Manchester City in the opening day 4-0 triumph at the Valley.
Yeah, good finisher there. Got himself in a good position, but I think the better ball would have been to Jason McAteer to his right. But Kinsella didn't see it.
Game opening up a little bit here. Cocu, there are 2 Irishmen in for the same ball, and they emerge with it, but then Kluivert has the energy to come back and win it. Now Baumer. That's the corner. Well, I think the Irish will be glad to have come unscathed through the first quarter of an hour without conceding.
Yeah, they're just settling down now, but long way to go yet, John.
Dutch corner, dangerous! Oh, and that came off an Irish head. My word, that was close. And there were a couple of Dutchmen went in for it first.
Looked like Frank de Boer to me, John.
Well, originally, I think there was an Irishman there, Niall Quinn, on the back end of it as well.
Yeah, just got a touch there, didn't he, and guided it away.
He's looking for a record goal tonight, but he wouldn't have wanted that one. Van Bronckhorst with another in-swinger, which might be too long. It will be a 3rd consecutive corner conceded by Hart. Well, they've never let Niall Quinn forget that, if he put through his own goal. De Boer with this one. Oh, and there to meet it. Rising into the penalty area.
It's Frank de Boer again.
It was de Boer again, yeah.
Exactly a replica copy of the last corner that he almost scored from.
The de Boer twins combining.
Absolutely.
a giveaway, and McAteer tries an audacious attempt to get the ball over the top of Van der Sar, and it flies high.
Yeah, good thinking there by McAteer. Saw the keeper off the line, lovely little chip.
Here is Louis van Gaal. It's a great move for him, isn't it, having been sacked by Barcelona in May as a result of their failure really to win the Champions League. He said that he was obviously horrified by what went on in Barcelona. He said he could have been a genius, instead of which he became a failure and a non-person.
Well, when you're playing at those high stakes as he was in Barca, but isn't it wonderful that you can come from such a great club and then take over the national team?
Cocu trying to cut the ball back here after Mr. Dunner got his boot back on.
I had the opportunity once to do that. Take over a country.
Tell me more in a moment. You can reveal all to Channel 5's listeners. And Broncos back to Vichka, who had a spell at Blackburn Rovers. Most people seem to have forgotten that. Rising up. Kluivert taking it on the chest, but for once his control didn't quite measure up to his reputation. And that gives you a chance to tell us, who was it, Moldova?
No, my early days at Wimbledon, after Jack finished, there was a very good chance that I could have taken over the Irish job.
Really? Do you ever regret that you didn't?
I think one of those things, John, at the time I had a 5-year contract still at Wimbledon, and wanted to stay as long as possible as I could in the Premiership. But that's all behind me now, and who knows what's around the corner.
You heard it first on Channel 5. Joe Kinnear could have been the manager of the Republic of Ireland. This is a nice little move, and McAteer strokes the ball forward again for Stephen Carr. This enterprising Tottenham fullback who nicks it back inside. McAteer with the cross ball in here, and the Irish have scored through Robbie Keane. What a goal! Beautifully constructed, delightfully delivered, and Robbie Keane scores for the Republic of Ireland. The Dutch are silent. His 7th international goal in just 19 appearances, and beautifully constructed.
Great cross there by Jason McAteer, and there's Robbie Keane then getting there, all unmarked there. Terrific little chip, ding to the back post. Robbie Keane's come powering in there, terrific header. Van Gaal will be wondering where his two centre-halves have gone, both missing, both got beat on the cross. Robbie Keane come in unmarked and tucked it away nicely.
But here they come themselves with Cocu. Well, that's why he picked Jason McAteer. Some credit for Mick McCarthy.
Good build-up down the right-hand side, wasn't it?
Grismoy, Carr again involved.
Carr was both, yeah, I was going to say that.
Tremendous going forward.
Stephen Carr played his role there as well, didn't it? Good link-up. And to be fair, a terrific finish as well.
And also, to be fair, Joe, it's not the first time that the Irish might have scored, and Ian Hart's into the area again here, and the shot twinkles wide of the far upright, and the Dutch defence all at sea at the moment. A dose of the Rit van Winkels, I think, from them.
I think what we said there, John, is that prior to the game about how both full-backs love to get forward, and irrespective of what system they're playing, that's exactly what both full-backs are doing.
Ian Hart not far away, and the Irish have got their first goal of the World Cup campaign.
Yes, Mick McCarthy will be delighted, and it's always imperative that you start off well in these tournaments. You know, every manager wants to get points on the board. To get maximum would be fantastic, but if they come away with a draw, especially coming to Holland, you're delighted. But to actually win the match, a tremendous start.
6 countries in the group, of course. Their next game is away to Portugal in Lisbon. Here comes Keane into the area again. This time De Boer gets boot to ball. Yes, next month they go to Lisbon to play Portugal, and after that it looks a little easier, doesn't it, with the likes of Estonia, Andorra and Cyprus, although you take nothing for granted these days.
No, but you would expect maximum points from those last 3 teams that you mentioned, and Portugal is not going to be easy.
Ask England. It's a wonderful start for the Irish, and they could not have expected better. It's a dream beginning for them tonight, and especially for Mick McCarthy. I was saying earlier, oblique references that he's coming for a bit of criticism over a couple of the selections here tonight, but he will feel at least slightly vindicated by that goal and the fact that McAteer played his part in it. Forward for Kluivert, cut out very well by Breen. Forward here for Kunterman, and the pressure undoubtedly on the Dutch now. We thought that could happen. De Boer launches one long. Cocu is up there, but to their credit, and to Richard Dunn's credit in particular, the Irish managed to counter that, and then it's almost given away by Carr.
Yeah, it's a long time since Ireland have actually had a clean sheet, John. That would be the worrying thing, whether we can actually finish this match with a clean sheet.
6 in a row they've conceded in.
Mid-sixes have done that.
Although they did have a very good summer tour to the United States, where although they conceded goals, they were actually unbeaten in their 3 games there.
They were just holiday games, though, weren't they?
Through for Kluivert, trying to show his dash, and still Kluivert goes on. Oh, and a foul by Dunn, unnecessary. The talk has been that Kluivert's pace might unhinge Richard Dunn, whose disciplinary record is hardly exemplary, sent off 3 times last season.
Well, if he gets himself here, this is a reckless challenge, isn't it, from behind. Just took Kluivert's legs away. Puts himself and his team in trouble now.
Unnecessary pressure, especially having got a goal ahead. And for this one, Kunterman, Kluivert, Cocu and Frank de Boer are all jostling around the penalty spot. Well, that's going to be too long. Although it's hooked back in, he did well there, Cocu. Alan Kelly with a comfortable catch. What a good goalkeeper Alan Kelly's become. And he's found Keane with the clearance too. And that will be a free kick for Ireland, given away by Reisiger. The Irish getting great vocal support from the 5,000 or so supporters here, who were in great mood last night, I can tell you, in the streets of Amsterdam. Finding out what you can get for 75 guilders. Plenty is the answer. Now then, back from Kilban. Forward from Hart. Excellent running by Roy Keane, who takes it down superbly. But fortunately for the Dutch, Pitchker had tracked back.
Where Ireland are, I mean, Keane and Kinsella are actually running the show in the middle of the park, and Robbie Keane himself is now dropping back just in behind Niall Quinn and just making that, you know, like that shadow second striker in that hole, making things very difficult for the Dutch to pick him up.
Here's Bosveld. I'm just thinking that he's been quiet so far, but he's lobbed this one in towards Cocu. Well covered by Breen, who has certainly never let the Republic down. He's hardly a fixture in the Coventry City first team, but he's played well for his country. Yeah,
very solid, very reliable, and had a good understanding with Kenny Cunningham when he's had to play in there.
Decent ball up to Kluivert, it'll just be beyond him. And the calming influence of Kelly again at the back.
We've seen early flashes of Robbie Keane and Kinsella getting forward unmarked. And the Dutch midfielder having problems picking those two up.
Well, Robbie Keane in particular looks so sharp. I thought Inter Milan are drooling at the moment, smacking their lips, and this is in towards Niall Quinn.
You see there,
a foul there by the big Irishman.
Perfect instant there. Kinsella's up there supporting Niall Quinn, and Robbie Keane's dropped back deep into the middle of the park. So there's a lot of interchanging with Keane and Kinsella.
The Irishman had a training session here in the stadium last evening. Niall Quinn was given offside there by the referee's assistant as he was going in the opposite direction. That's such an unusual thing to see. He wasn't exactly going towards goal, the Sunderland man.
No, he was coming away from the attacking area into midfield.
Kluivert. Good feet. Uses it well. Cocu. But look how many green shirts are around Kluivert there. Mick McCarthy's certainly done his homework on Holland's #1 striker.
Yeah, I think Breen will be given the opportunity there if and whenever he can. He'll be the one that pushes himself up against Kluivert. Probably leave Richard Dunn to go spare.
And the crowd becoming just a little disconcerted there as the layoff from Kluivert was a poor one. They didn't expect to be a goal behind in their first home game of this World Cup qualifying campaign. They were a very good side at Euro 2000 and of course they never lost a match and only went out to the Italians here on penalties.
And when you consider what's missing though, John, like Edgar Davids and Ruud van Nistelrooy and Mark Overmans and Stam and...
Well, another mistake and Quinn will try and take advantage, but it dribbles along the ground. Yeah, and of course they lost Boudewijn Zenden this week in training and Mark Overmars. It really is a catalogue of who's who, isn't it? And Dennis Bergkamp and Aaron Binter both retired, and both incidentally receiving awards tonight to mark their contribution to Dutch football over the last decade.
Yeah, Roger, we were saying that's 10 phenomenal players. You know, but Van Gaal was very bullish about his chances tonight, so we'll just have to wait and see.
A long way to go, as you expressed earlier.
Ireland can actually grow in confidence, you know, that goal they've got. They've seen that...
There might be a problem here, though. Bosvelt took it on the chest. It was a difficult ball to take, and with green shirts converging around him and Alan Kelly coming to stare at him as well. Bosvelt put it dead, but it was a great ball in.
Yeah, good deep run, wasn't it? Took it down in his chest and just got away from him. But as I was saying prior to that, Ireland have grown in confidence. They've got the all-important goal.
Hitchcock spreads the play once more. He really does have a lovely left foot. He's played around Europe. Ronald de Boer. Giovanni van Bronckhorst, the Glasgow Rangers connection. Cocu, one of those underrated players who gets through enormous amounts of work. Yet another of the Barcelona contingent, Philippe Cocu. Frank de Boer, of Barcelona. The Irish are covering well, they're making life difficult for the Dutch. Continent forward, a back heel from Kluivert, but there the way was Roy Keane. And he'll try and get forward again now in company with his namesake, Robbie. Playing the ball around intelligently. This is Gary Breen, tonight winning his 32nd cap. He actually scored his first goal for his country against the Dutch 4 years ago, Gary Breen.
Let's hope he can get another one tonight.
He's the man who really liked a goal, having registered 20 times since his debut in 1986, Niall Quinn. That's great, isn't it? 14 years of international football. You've got to be some player to do that.
Yeah. Great achievement, that. Not had the goals per ratio as far as our strikers are compared to other countries, but nevertheless I think Niall's now knocked in 20, is it?
It is.
When you consider like Jimmy Greaves and Geoff Hurst and all them run for England.
There goes Van Bronckhorst for the Dutch, trying to get level before half-time. But for the moment, that Irish door is slammed firmly in their faces. And I'm sure this is a performance to warm the heart of Ray Houghton back in London. But the rain is now slamming down onto the pitch here with some very curious weather in Amsterdam. Surely an unavailing run for Reisiger this time. Plenty to say, the manager, but he must be absolutely delighted with the start his side has made. Alongside Ian Evans there, Steve Staunton in the background.
Well, they've had the perfect start, haven't they? Now he's just got to make sure that we don't make any silly mistakes at the back. But Holland look fairly predictable at the moment. They're lacking pace, I think, in both flanks. I think both our fullbacks are comfortable. Both our fullbacks at times have been allowed to go forward. When I say ours, I mean Ireland.
You're allowed to say that. You're okay, Jim. I think we all know you're Irish.
But you know, bar balls up to Clivert. There's not really been not too much coming from the Dutch.
Well, that was meat and drink again there for Richard Dunn, just able to stand there and head the ball clear. And you see, maybe the players they're missing more than any are Mark Overmars for that acceleration, that burst of pace that you're just talking about. And Edgar Davids, he's critical as well.
Well, he can open up defences, can't he? He can get at the Overmars. We've seen him, like, I used to call him electric legs in the Premiership. He's got that burst of pace. And he can go past fullbacks at will.
Another easy clearance for Dunn, but this time it will break to Ronald de Boer, and Reiziger's charging forward. He'll be disappointed the ball didn't come to him, having made the effort. And Bronkhorst. Now Baumer, who doesn't seem to have had the ball for 15 minutes or so. Vichka. One thing the Dutch will be is patient. It's in their nature. Ronald de Boer cannot get the better of Ian Hart, who managed to shove him inside there. That's exactly where he wanted him to go. Baumer. Difficult for a young player making his debut, especially when the team goes behind. They look to the elder players here to help him out. Cocu. This is that patient build-up I was referring to. They have it in their mentality to be patient, the Dutch, but that's a wayward pass from Van Bronckhorst. They're having a lot of the ball, but not doing a great deal with it at the moment.
Yeah, I think Ireland are just happy to let them have it, as long as they're playing in their own half.
9 green shirts behind the ball, but now Reiziger does get goal side of that Irish defence to win a corner.
And he's done very well, Kilbane, to get back with them. That was one of the areas that I was worried about, that both wingers for Ireland not the best defenders. As we saw Reiziger get through there early on, and he went burst through for his shot. He'd lost Kilbane.
Alan Kelly organises, and it's, well, that's probably the worst corner kick I've seen for 5 years from Ronald de Boer. That was never anywhere near the field of play, was it? Extraordinary corner kick.
I hope the Rangers supporters are not looking in.
Yeah, let's remind everybody that Ronald de Boer chose Glasgow Rangers ahead of Manchester United, apparently, this week in his move for 1.3 million from Barcelona. He'd fallen out of favour at Barcelona.
He does that week in, that week out. At Rangers, he won't be there too long either.
Keane, scorer of the only goal so far, and he's won a free kick out of Bosveld. Robbie Keane, early in this game, he showed an inkling when he got him for a header, and then when he took his goal, it was a delightfully timed run to be in the right position to meet the cross, and a great header as well. Van der Sar had no hope.
And actually, when he did score his goal, he came from a deep position to arrive late in the box on the end of the cross, and that's the area where the Dutch are finding it hard to pick him up.
Gary Breen will drive it in hard. Oliver van Gaal has said his aim is to make Holland world champions in 2 years' time in a career in Japan. That must look a long way off at the moment for him. Always looks very stern-faced, doesn't he?
Looks like he's got the world on his shoulders there, doesn't it? Honestly, Louis, it's not that bad.
They nearly conceded a corner. They have given the ball away. Well, a second Irish goal would really put the cat among the Dutch pigeons.
Well, there's every chance there will be one.
That rain pelting down is making the turf very greasy. And, Carr, no blame attached there, he's taking no chances in playing that one back all the way to Kelly. Alan Kelly's 31st cap tonight. Nick McCarthy, he must think it's a summer's day. Here we go again into the area, Kilbane, but a free kick against him. I think the referee said that he used his arm there to control the ball. Kilbane without a goal so far this season. He's only got one since his move from West Bromwich Albion to Sunderland. That's another ill-judged pass. And you do sense that those in orange, and there are many of them here tonight in Amsterdam, are getting rather frustrated.
Absolutely. That's the second or third pass we've seen him go astray.
Now Rising heads the ball straight into the crowd under no great pressure. Well, the Dutch were very, very impressive during Euro 2000. Their record of played 5, won 4. They scored 13 goals against 3 and weren't beaten apart from the penalty shootout by the Italians, but they don't look like winners at the moment. Anyway, let's not preempt things, because here goes Robbie Keane. Forward is McAteer. Back to Van der Sar, and they'll pressurise Van Bronckhorst. Green.
And every time it goes up to Clive Hart's breathing down his throat.
It's a great opportunity for some of these Irish players to prove that they're worthy of playing on this World Cup stage. Just about the best Irish team that Mick McCarthy could put out, I think. Okay, he lost Mark Kennedy and Phil Dabb in a much publicised incident earlier in the week, and they were sent home.
I think Cunningham might have played, John. I think Cunningham might have been stuck in there and sent him off.
You know all about him, former Wimbledon man. Free kick here, though. And,
that's a good question. What you're saying, John? Would Bab have played instead of Richard Dunn, or is it something we'll never know?
Very possibly Richard Dunn there. And Phil Babb, of course, playing his football in Portugal nowadays, Sporting. Alan Kelly has to get that wall right. Now they have very adept players here. Notably, I would say Van Bronckhorst with the left foot, but Ronald de Boer has come over. If it's the right boot, it'll be de Boer. If it's the left, it'll be Van Bronckhorst. Kelly, for the moment, has taken the left hand upright. It is Van Bronckhorst, and it's crashed straight into a green shirt. I imagine, and you would know as a manager, that Van Gaal can't wait to get this team back into the dressing room.
I would think so. I think he'd be pulling his hair out at the side there. I haven't actually carved any sort of clear-cut chance. And even though their build-up have been patient, but it's been very slow.
Ronald de Boer will try and add a bit of pep to it here, but he's hunted by
Having said that, John, you know, the Irish lads have worked, they've hustled, they've put them under pressure. Kinsella and Keane have, as I said earlier, dominated middle of the park.
Well, that was a good example of it, wasn't it, there? I think he's a bit intimidating, Roy Keane, isn't he, when he's about to jump on your toe end?
Well, he'd be the first on my two sheet if I could afford him.
Cocu. They all seem to be under pressure, don't they, the Dutch, when they're passing the ball. Vichka. Van Bronckhorst. Oh, he has got a chance to dance down this left touchline. There are 3 in orange in the area. Kluivert allows it to run through. Comes to De Boer. Here's a chance of an equaliser. And Bosveld's shot kept out by the legs of Alan Kelly. The best chance the Dutch have created.
Yeah, good build-up, wasn't it? Van Bronckhorst there. Good trick by Kluivert. Lets it fall through. And I think it's actually Richard Dunn who puts his foot to it in front of Kelly.
Dead right, he didn't get as far as Alan Kelly, so well done, Richard Dunn. Same name as the boxer, the former world heavyweight champion, just occurred, a different spelling, but the Richard Dunn of Everton in the right place at the right time there to prevent the Dutch delivering a knockout blow.
Really, that last movement was only the first real chance that the Dutch had carved out, really.
Absolutely. And I would think Mick McCarthy will say, just keep playing this way, and we can create a little bit of history here.
Absolutely. The Dutch side seems to be, I know they look, that's their style of play, very patient, rotation football players, changing over positions, but there doesn't seem to be any too much zip about it.
That was Vichka diving in there. Robbie Keane will be very much a marked man, even more so after that big money move to Serie A. But he really dived in here, didn't he, Vicka?
Yeah.
No other referees would have booked him.
Very late with his challenge there, wasn't he?
Well, I think he's very lucky to have escaped a yellow card.
Keane have already laid the ball off, and he's come in again, tackled from behind, and rightly so booked.
Carr. Quinn, who saw that he had to come and help out there, did so. And so the Irish continue the momentum through McAteer. Keane, not a dissimilar situation from which they scored this. Keane and McAteer trading the passes. Both experienced internationals, of course. And Roy Keane has certainly kept himself well in check tonight, hasn't he, following those comments of Michael Reisiger.
Well, they've got the perfect answer now. Gone one in front. One thing that I'd be worried about, if on the Dutch point of view, is that they don't seem to have a ball winner in the middle of the park. They're all nice and comfortable, like Cocu with the ball. They're all forward runners, but they don't seem to have anybody that's going to actually win the ball for them. Therefore, Ireland are getting so much time on the ball, and they win it.
I reckon that's where they're missing the pit bull into Davids. Now then, Kluivert. He will spell danger, and Ronald de Boer away. Problems here for the Irish. It's Kluivert, who's just too high for him, and it's headed up in the air by Gary Breen. And now Alan Kelly has his claws on the ball. It was just too steep for Kluivert.
Yeah, de Boer gets to the byline here. Nice delicate chip. Kluivert just gets underneath it, and it's Bulmer. I'll tell you what, Breen does exceptionally well there, because that's heading for that far corner, whether it actually gone in or not.
He hung in the air, Kluivert, didn't he? But I think he just timed the jump a little wrongly.
Yeah, as the ball came across, he got himself underneath it instead of above it.
It's a good spell this, though, for the Dutch. They've created their two best chances in the last few minutes. Time for the Irish to show their composure. Just to hang on in there for these closing moments of the half. A half which undoubtedly belongs to them for the moment.
Yeah, Mick McCarthy will be delighted to get the boys in at half time.
Loses it. Away goes Quinn, and he'll carry on. He'll canter on towards the Dutch goal. He's got to go all alone, Niall Quinn. Not for the first time in his Irish international career. And to his horror, the throw-in is awarded to Holland.
Yeah, Niall was shown about the same pace as he had when he was a 19-year-old. Never been one with blessed with lightning pace, but his strength and his willingness to run, pick balls up, chase lost causes.
And it's not a free kick because it's half-time here, and what a very, very good half for Mick McCarthy's Republic of Ireland. Robbie Keane has given them a precious lead here in Amsterdam. It could hardly be better. So we'll see what comes in the whole of the second half, but here at the interval, it is Holland 0, Republic of Ireland 1.
Yes, we like that.
Thank you very much indeed, Steve. Well, I'm sure Louis van Gaal will feel it never rains but it pours. Sacked by Barcelona, his team a goal down on his debut as the manager, and it is raining the proverbial cats and dogs here in Amsterdam now. They're very hospitable, these Dutch, by the way. Not only have they allowed the Irish to take a lead through Robbie Keane, but they've also been treated to a Dutch version of the river dance. Very appropriate indeed with this weather. Well, just looking around there on the Dutch side, we're going to see Clarence Seedorf come out. He warmed up during the half-time interval. And Clarence Seedorf is on, wearing number 18. And I think it's probably Baumer who's gone off. I'll tell you in a moment, but it looks like Baumer to me who has been sacrificed. No, Baumer's indeed still there, so we'll find out for you in a moment. The Irish are very happy with the 11 that started the game. So McCarthy sends out the same 11 for the second half. And the change indeed is Michael Reisiger off, and Bosvelt has gone to right back, the position he occupied during the European Championship. So there's the first switch. You would expect, Joe Kinnear, the Dutch to really come out in this half all guns blazing.
Well, it's a case of having to, because they were very, very disappointed in the first half. They lacked any sort of ideas in as far as getting opportunities, and it was really in the last 5 or 6 minutes in the first half that they actually made any sort of chances at all. Seedorf's come on now to add a little bit of bite into the middle of the park, maybe compete more against Kinsella and Keane, who totally ran the show in the first half. When you consider Ireland are playing away from home, they were allowed the space and time to dominate things in the middle of the park. I'm sure that Louis van Gaal would want at least an equal share, if not more, in the middle of the park to control the match.
They had their spell just before the interval. Perhaps the best omen, you know, I know you love a statistic, Joe, is the fact that since Mick McCarthy took over, Ireland have won every international they've played in September. They've played every year since Mick McCarthy was appointed in '96. They beat Iceland by 4-2. They beat Croatia 2-0, and they beat Yugoslavia 2-1. So they do like playing in September, the Irish.
No chance of squeezing the whole season in September, is there?
Private offside.
Maybe we can put every single qualification game for the World Cup in September.
I can't tell you whether it was raining on every occasion. Here he is then, the first decision of this half to go against the Dutch, and I reckon he got it right. So Alan Kelly hits it up to the head of Niall Quinn, very predictable. So the Dutch are back in possession with Bosveld, then Ronald de Boer, who did create one of the best openings for the Dutch in the last minutes of the first half. Now Van Bronckhorst. The Irish are squeezing their opponents, and Van Bronckhorst slipping. They look a little anxious at the moment, but they might not in a moment or two, because they do have an opportunity here with Bauma. Van Bronckhorst, 2 in orange shirts already in the middle, but that attack countered straight away by Gary Breen. Well intercepted by McAteer. Kilban runs smack into Bosveld. Not something that's recommended, as one Dennis Irwin will tell you. Bosveld committed a horrendous challenge on the Manchester United defender a few years ago. The Irish very happy with the referee for awarding that free kick.
Yeah, Ronald de Boer there getting frustrated with Ian Hart. And that's one thing that how you can describe the Dutch performance. Here we see it here, Ian Hart there. Yeah, Ronald de Boer there sticking his leg out and bringing down Ian Hart. As I was saying, that one thing to describe the Dutch performance in the first half, it was certainly one of frustration.
Not what the Dutch fans have come to expect, especially when they're playing at home and in a very meaningful match indeed. But you know with the Dutch that if they get one goal, then that really does ignite the occasion and they can go on to win it. Quinn, nice touch to his right. McAteer will re-find him. No, he won't, it's just too high. So Bosveld up to Kluivert. Now Kilban. He got inside Bosveld, and now he'll stretch his legs and he'll try and get away from Kunterman. He's still got a touch on the ball and knock it back for Ian Hart. Kinsella. Kilban, who played over one delicious cross in the first half. That's not a bad one either, but met by Frank de Boer now. De Boer. Coffey touching it to Van Bronckhorst, who will gallop into the Irish half. Robbie Keane hounding the opponent, and they have been very energetic, the Irish, in getting behind the ball.
That's right, John, you just wonder whether it will take its toll as the game progresses. But Ireland don't have to chase the game. It's the Dutch that have to do that.
And now there is a foul here by Roy Keane. The referee across very sharply, and Keane doesn't protest, acknowledges his indiscretion. And, he did just dive in a bit there, the Manchester United man, on the ankle of Ronald de Boer.
Yeah, just went up showing his studs there, didn't he? So, yeah, another good decision by the referee.
Yep. Alan Kelly can make himself heard. And Ronald de Boer will clip it, and the header which came from Kluivert. Well, it was an intended header from Kluivert, but Gary Breen got there very sharply, I think.
Yeah, it looked like Kluivert actually got the last touch on that. Again, disappointing set plays. They've been disappointing, the Dutch, and most of what they've served up tonight from set
Important
pieces.
moments here. Headed out from that corner kick. You expect them to have more quality at set pieces. Now what can Baumer do? He'll whip the ball across. It'll drop here, maybe for Frank de Boer. Ian Hart hacks it out.
Yeah, as we were saying prior to that, a massive loss Bergkamp is to the side. Been an institution in the Dutch side for many, many years, and he's always been the ideas man. He's always been the one that's been able to unlock doors.
Seedorf. Well, Seedorf's first two touches have not been impressive. It's taken him a while to get into this game, but he's been brought on specifically to mark Robbie Keane, because since the former Wolves and Coventry man moved to Serie A, these two room together. Messrs Seedorf and Keane, so they know all about one another. Some things we can tell you, some things we probably can't tell you.
I like to be a fly on the wall.
There is Robbie Keane, but only able to stretch and stab the ball directly to Van Bronckhorst.
Wonder if Seedorf can understand him when he speaks.
And vice versa. Now here is Clarence Seedorf. The man who's had a few clubs in his time. Sampdoria, Real Madrid, since leaving Holland. And now into Milan. Coming towards Seedorf again, but Roy Keane's in there, and that will be a free kick for him. And against Baumer, this referee's very reluctant to show you cards tonight.
Yeah, well, I think he's been refereeing with common sense, though. You see, there's no intent here. It's just a late challenge there. The leg goes up. Roy Keane's up on his feet quickly. No damage needed. No physio on.
Just 22 there, Wilfred Baumer, playing for his country for the first time. It'll drop for Kilban. Gifted it to Seedorf. For Van Bronckhorst. I think you made a point in the first half, Joe, about the Dutch not having a great deal of pace, and that's become very evident tonight. Let's see if they've got any here. Ronald de Boer, no, another wayward ball, and he sort of expresses his discontent with Kluivert. Kluivert gives him a very angry stare. And you can assume that all is not well in the Dutch camp at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. Early on, they're getting very frustrated with each other, and Koku is, you know, he lacks that yard of pace. He's up there alongside of Kluivert. Anything Kluivert touches on, there's no way Koku is going to be on the end of it.
Quinn's onside and accepting that headed ball from McAteer, who will be behind Quinn now. But, with Frank de Boer, and now with Bert Kunterman. £5 million signing from Feyenoord for Glasgow Rangers in his first season there. Offside, Kluivert. Richard Dunn looks a very relieved man there.
Yeah, he was always going to be offside, wasn't it? Back four, Ireland just held the line. Here we see it, he stepped up, rightly so, Kluivert. Well, just offside. I think it's Breen up in the top right hand side.
Quinn will win it. He'll give it to Keane. Robbie, that is. Now it's Kinsella. Meat and drink once more for Van der Sar. Preferred these days to Ed de Hoy and Sander Westerveld in the Dutch goal. Bit of a scrappy phase, this.
Yeah, closing each other's down very quickly in the middle of the park. Nobody's got any time now. Where Obviously the tempo's gone up as far as the Dutch are concerned. Ireland had certainly more time on the ball in the first half.
Yet again a giveaway, straight to Roy Keane. Kilban having to work hard to retain possession. The Dutch have won the last 3 meetings between these nations. So the Irish will say, well, it's time for a change. So Mick McCarthy trying to plot a Dutch downfall tonight, and so far it's going to script. Took over from Big Jack Charlton, of course. Cliver's acrobatic, but unsuccessful. And Bronkhorst, Clivert, oh lovely. Can they finish this one off? Seedorf a touch to his right. Ronald de Boer won't get to that, but he's then got it back from Ian Hart, and it's clipped across for Kelly to make the catch. But Van Bronckhorst really driving in on the Irish defence there posed the problem. It's long now for Kilban to give chase, trying to get around Bosvelt, and he's done that successfully. Lovely skill from Kevin Kilban, who was pulled back. Niall Quinn's header, side netting. Excellent play again from Kilban, who's impressed when he's had the chance to get forward.
Yeah, stretched his legs there. I think it was a great ball by Roy Keane down the left-hand side. Kilban cuts inside of Bosvelt. My word, that looked... I've seen penalties given for that. He'd certainly tugged his shirt. Kilban stayed on his feet. Had he gone down, there's every chance that he would have had a penalty.
I think, to be fair, I think the referee actually played an advantage, didn't he? I think he was probably just outside the area. Now it's Seedorf going forward. Chances here for the Dutch. And more expert defending at the back for the Republic of Ireland. And an injury too. Full stretch Stephen Carr. Well, the substitute now for the Dutch will be Arnold Broekink, coming on to make his debut for his country. We haven't yet sorted out who is going off. They will in a moment.
It's got to be Vichka, I would think. It's hardly been in the game.
Koku is just going off the pitch for some treatment at the moment, which is confusing the issue slightly.
Well,
the game goes on. Stephen Carr is off the pitch for the moment as well, so it's 10-a-side for the minute. It won't stay that way for long, I assure you. And here come the Dutch now. Important for the Irish to concentrate at this moment. They've just been slightly disrupted, although Carr is now back on. Koku isn't, so it's 11 against 10 for the moment. And the rain comes down even more heavily. Very tricky because the ball absolutely scoots off the surface. There goes Seedorf. Hasn't really settled it yet. But he strokes the ball wide for Ronald de Boer now. Just has to come inside Hart. Seedorf, Kluivert. And they really have defended very expertly against Patrick Kluivert, one of the world's most renowned strikers. And I think he's only had one real effort tonight, and that was a header that he didn't get any potency to.
Yeah, Breen's done a manful job on him tonight. Marked him very tight. And he's had to, both centre-halves have dealt with anything that's been chucked into the box against them. We've seen very little of Kluivert as far as goal attempts.
Forward by Vichka, Kluivert, Ronald de Boer teed up for Seedorf. They're looking more positive and dangerous around the edge of that Irish penalty area.
Well, they're certainly throwing more fellas forward, more players forward now, John.
There's Robbie Keane this time, who comes back and has a little clash with his roommate. And there's bound to be a free kick here for the Irish against this man Bosvelt. I was saying he has a bit of a reputation in England after that challenge on Dennis Irwin a few years ago. Now we can see Arnold Broekink, and it is indeed Richard Vichka who comes on. So Broekink on for his first appearance. plays for PSV Eindhoven, and he was the man who took over from Ruud van Nistelrooy at PSV last season when Van Nistelrooy picked up that horrendous injury in training when he was about to sign for Manchester United. In came Broekink and promptly scored 19 goals in 30 appearances. Well, the Dutch need a goal now.
Certainly do. Fair record, that. 1 and 2.
The band strikes up here. The Dutch supporters actually won an award last week for the best supporters at Euro 2000. Well, counted by Dunn, but it'll fall for Kluivert and then for Seedorf.
Well, they haven't been given too much to shout about tonight, have they, the supporters?
No, it's not just been the scoreline, it's been the manner of the game, hasn't it? But again, we have to say that that is down to the Irish and the way that they have played. And Mick McCarthy, for the moment, has got it dead right.
Spot on.
So you as a manager appreciate that. They get flack when they lose, but for the moment, it's looking good. And this, of course, would put a whole different complexion on the group as early as it is. The first match, if the Irish could win here in Amsterdam, that's a colossal fillip for them. Well, the former Barnsley defender.
I think when the group first came up, that the last thing you would have been thinking of was Ireland actually coming here and getting a result. But everything this week, as far as injuries and retirements and one thing and another, everything has fallen in Ireland's favour. But you've still got to be good enough to take advantage of it.
Memories go back to 1996 and that European Championship playoff at Anfield, of course, when 2 Patrick Kluivert goals destroyed any hopes the Irish had of playing in the finals that year. Now they do attack with Broekink, like Trevor Broekink. This is Arnold, and he's won the corner. 3 in the area so far, to be supplemented shortly by the arrivals of Frank de Boer and Punterman and Cocu. So they've 6 in here in orange, headed away by Breen. Seedorf tries to get the ball over the top of Kilban. Goal kick.
I think Niall Quinn and Breen have done exceptionally well. And he sort of put corner pieces at the corners, kicks that have been lofted into the box there. Quinn has always got his head on it. Done a tremendous amount of defensive work, and that goes unnoticed. He's come back there and done exceptionally well when needed.
Of course, there are 8 Premier League players and 1 from Serie A in this starting 11 for the Irish tonight. Although Richard Dunn is not a regular at Everton at the moment. The only exceptions are the goalkeeper, Alan Kelly, from Blackburn Rovers, of course, and Jason McAteer, also of Blackburn. Louis van Gaal is ringing the changes at the moment. I think we might have another alteration in a moment or two. Let's see what happens here with Roy Keane's pass to McAteer, back in towards Kinsella, just measured too far ahead of him. They really are working hard, and as a result, the Dutch squander possession once again. Carr lifting it into Quinn and Keane, and it's opened up brilliantly for McAteer. Can he finish? Can he finish? Oh, he can finish all right. Jason McAteer scores the most famous goal of his Republic of Ireland career, and what a decision by Mick McCarthy to pick him. And the stadium explodes in Irish noise.
Yeah, tremendous build up there. Quinn, Keane, Jason McAteer cutting him from the right onto his left foot, and a sweet strike into the right hand corner. Again, you'd have to question the Dutch defence, all at sea yet again. Here we see Quinn, Keane intercept. Great link-up play by Jason McAteer. Very rarely seen that before him, strike a ball with his left foot that sweetly. Well, a wonderful goal, and it certainly now puts Ireland in dreamland, really. 2-0 up now. His first game in the tournament. Magnificent start for the Irish.
His first goal for 4 years.
And it couldn't have come at a better time.
No, and his other one was scored against Macedonia. I'm sure you knew that, Joe. Well, Jeffrey Tallan has come on as the third Dutch substitute. He's a Heerenveen player, and he's come on in place of Kunteman. But what a staggering scoreline we have here in the Amsterdam Arena. I'll say it again for you. Holland 0, the Republic of Ireland 2. Is that music to your ears, Joe?
Absolute pleasure. But there was, take nothing away from the Irish, but there was talks, I think, prior to this game that it could possibly be the worst Dutch team ever to be put out. But nevertheless, don't take no credit away from Mick McCarthy's side. They've come here, been tactically astute, they've worked extremely hard. They've got their shape right and balance right, and richly so, 2 goals in front.
And there they are again, 3 green shirts around Bosvelt, and Quinn hoodwinks his marker de Boer. He does a tremendous job for the side just now, Quinn. Battling away here, 2 orange shirts converge on him ultimately. So Niall Quinn has certainly played his part in what promises at the moment to be a famous night in Republic of Ireland footballing history. The Dutch have always had the better of things against them, statistically anyway. They've won 8, drawn 2 and lost 5 of the previous meetings. And I suspect that one of the things that will please Mick McCarthy most at the moment is the fact that the Irish have got a clean sheet against their name.
Yeah, that was always what I said in the first half of this match. Can we hold out? Well, we've done better than that now. We've added to the Robbie Keane's goal. 2 goals in front now. And to be honest, this half, the Dutch haven't looked any better than they were in the first half.
Cocu. Are the Dutch going to panic, or can they hit back now? It's Ronald de Boer into the area. The chance is still there. Done clear. Seedorf. The chance to shoot. His first touch not good enough. They will come again. They have to come now. Tallan flicked through, and it's McAteer, the hero of the moment, who concedes the corner.
Well, I think nerves has got to the Dutch team as well there. Seedorf there, his first touch. A bit like an elephant in some respects. Taking a better touch there, he could have got a strike in that goal, but the Irish have definitely got him rattled.
Holland need a goal badly. They got across to Tallan, who hacked it against the back of Richard Dunn. Consecutive corners for the Dutch.
Now, we've spoken about the likes of Bergkamp, Overmars and Edgar Davids and Nistelrooy missing, but they've also missed Jack Stam at the back. He's calm and influence at the back as well. That's been a big loss.
All the green
Dutch
shirts
tonight.
They're back there, including that belonging to Niall Quinn. And another lung-bursting run from Robbie Keane to relieve the lines. These moments are really important now for the Irish. You can sense that the Dutch are trying to lift their game. They're trying to lay siege to the Irish goal, and Dunn there and Breen are standing firm for the moment. Cocu will swing it across. And, well, a succession of Dutch corners. These are critical moments now for the Irish. Having got that second goal, it's almost as though it's needled the Dutch and brought them to life.
Absolutely. It's now that they need to have maximum concentration.
It's flat. It's a poor corner. And that will only increase the anxiety in Amsterdam.
Well, it's been in keeping with their set plays tonight. And been very, very disappointing, the Dutch.
Bosvelt. Clive with the header. And Kelly has it within his grasp after Hart's header. Well, it's an astonishing scoreline, but a fully merited one, and here come the Irish swarming forward once more. They will sense, of course, that while the Dutch commit themselves, they might just get the chance of a third goal, or are we dreaming? Clive, the touch back to Ronald de Boer. There are 4 Dutchmen forward here. Needs a good cross in. Doesn't get it. Thanks to some excellent marking by Stephen Carr, this rapidly developing defender.
Yeah, had a tremendous season for Tottenham. I know it's only just started, but got off to a flying start. But he's been improving for the
chance here, and Tallan! And the Dutch are back in it. And the Irish defence really caught out here. Alan Kelly unable to prevent Jeffrey Tallant scoring his first goal for his country. And now Irish resolve is surely to be tested. Dever with the cross, and Talent steals in between Hart and Kelly, and the ball is in Ireland's net.
Just what we didn't want to happen there. De Boer there crossing it to the back post, and Tally there getting on the back of Ian Hart.
And here's the Irish, and what an opening for Kevin Kilban, who should have restored the 2-goal cushion. Straight from the kick-off.
Unbelievable stuff, isn't it? Great ball through to Kilban from one end to the other. Goalkeeper just to beat. My word, he got at least hit the target there, and that would have been a chance to sew things up. What a great opportunity for Kilban there to make it 3.
That would have been his first goal for his country within 60 seconds of Talent scoring his first. Now the Irish are making a change themselves. And on comes number 13, who is David Connolly, the striker formerly at Watford, who plays for Mouscron in Belgium these days.
Yeah, he's replaced Niall Quinn. Niall Quinn's given his all, and fresh legs up there now to relieve the pressure.
Quinn, a 33-year-old, giving way to Connolly, who is a mere 23, 10 years his junior.
Mind you, they will miss Quinny's height advantage whenever them set players are, but the Dutch set players have been so bad tonight. Maybe it's a good decision by Nick McCarthy after all.
Connolly did have a spell with Excelsior in Holland, now at Mouscron in Belgium.
Just saying prior to that, wasn't it, how poor the Dutch have been playing, and in just one moment they've reduced the deficit down to 1. And of course that's always liable to happen with the Dutch.
That's a tremendous game in prospect now. Holland 1, Republic of Ireland 2. They still have the ace card in Mick McCarthy's side, but you can expect a lot of defensive chores now. Made a quick impact here with that goal. Now it's Seedorf. Touches around the area. Seedorf belted against an Irish defender. The ball will break for Connolly and then for Keane. Now for McAteer, who's done superbly well. And he'll lift one across here. It nearly got to Connolly. Clivert fails to get the better of Dunn, who's done tremendously well.
It's amazing how the game now has come very open. Both teams are getting very stretched now. Ireland just need to add that little bit more discipline to the game. Again, they were worried about whether they could keep a clean sheet or not. Well, that's been answered.
Yeah, 7 in a row now, but they failed to do that, but they did go a long way in this match, and against tough opposition. There might be another Irish substitution here because the ball has been drilled out, and that means that Mick McCarthy can bring on Gary Kelly, vastly experienced player, the Leeds United man, and he will replace McAteer, but what an impact the Blackburn Rovers player has had on the game.
Yeah, McAteer has played a major role in both goals. Of course, Mick McCarthy now again. Sapping the legs out there, waterlogged pitch, and fresh legs was needed.
Gary Kelly coming on for his 32nd appearance for his country. Well, before every game you wonder just what sort of a match you were going to have, and we have certainly not had a raw deal tonight, but you will have shortly. The film tonight is the all-action thriller involving Arnold Schwarzenegger. Your movie is Raw Deal. For the moment, this is compelling watching. I'm sure you're enjoying it back home, and the Irish have done enormous credit to their reputation. And the supporters too, who are always good. And, we saw a few of them in Amsterdam last night, and by Jove, did they enjoy themselves. They've had a great weekend. Let's see if they can cap it with the right result now.
There's nothing more the Irish like than a night out.
All very good humour, I have to say. Seedorf. Touched on by the substitute looking to the goal scorer, Talon. Not a bad ball in, but it's Alan Kelly's who made that ball belong to him.
Seems to be a little bit of tiredness creeping into the Irish team, but that's to be expected. They've worked extremely hard throughout the whole evening. That's now just beginning to get
getting a feel about the game. He's offside here, Talon.
Getting a feel about the game and being allowed now to have more time on the ball, and that always comes with when the opposition gets tired.
Interesting, this lad Jeffrey Talon. He's known as a midfield motivator. Well, he's certainly given them some motivation tonight with that goal. He only made his debut after the 1998 World Cup and only winning his 6th cap tonight, but he's got that valuable goal for the Dutch, which has perked them up no end. Kluivert touched off to De Boer. Kluivert again tries to accelerate, and he really is a thoroughbred when he does that.
A tremendous tackle there by Roy Keane, wasn't it?
Well, the Irish are forward in numbers again here. Van Bronckhorst nicks it away from Robbie Keane. The score of that goal seems such a long time ago now. Here come the Dutch. The cross not good, but it'll break to Van Bronckhorst again. Runs inside the area. Talon in. He was almost the hero of the night for his country again.
Yeah, it's caused major problems since he come on. One wonders why he didn't start, but now he's brave enough and willing enough to go in onto the back post there, and that's, you saw him get his goal early on, and he's gone looking for a second.
Kilban beaten in the air by Frank de Boer, and I think that maybe the last we see of Kilban, because Steve Staunton is warming up on the touchline, and that would be a logical substitution. Staunton would be coming on to win his 85th cap, but here goes Seedorf. Kluivert, is there a goal on this night for him yet? Breaks there, but only to someone in a green shirt. That someone is the skipper Keane. Probably he's going to have to play a lone hand at the moment, isn't he?
Well, I was saying that Kilbane looked very leggy, and the whole of the shape of the side now is looking very tired. We're dropping back deeper and deeper, allowing the Dutch to get ascendancy and come on.
Well, using the often used analogy, I suppose it's like the boxer on the ropes a little bit, isn't it? It's a question of hanging on for these remaining minutes of the match here in the Amsterdam Arena. Seedorf, Kluivert, who is clever around the area. That will be a corner kick for the Dutch, and they've had a few of those lately. Well, the last 2 or 3 set plays of corner kicks have been very disappointing. See what the Dutch can offer this time, but again, what I said, there's no Niall Quinn there to give them protection. You can tell how desperate they are. There are 7 orange shirts in the Irish penalty area now, and that's a long delivery again, and it's not a good one. Can reiterate that the set pieces have not had much quality.
Van der Haal must be just absolutely pulling his hair out again, sitting on the bench. There's nothing more frustrating for a football manager.
Steve Staunton coming on now to win his 85th cap for the Irish. Only Tony Cascarino has won more. He's been a fixture of the Irish for a decade now, and it is Kilban who is off. Good move by Mick McCarthy, Joe.
I would think so, yeah. I think Steve Staunton will come across and help out Ian Hart as far as Talon is concerned. They'll probably double up on him on the back post.
So both sides have made their full quota of substitutions now. De Boer. Talon showed a bit too much of it to Connolly, and so the Irish have it back for Hart to find Connolly. 10 minutes remaining here in Amsterdam, in this wonderful arena, which was only opened 4 years ago. They do have a retractable roof here, but they haven't slid it along to prevent the rain coming in. But in a way, it adds some excitement to the elements of the match. The rain pelting down and the slippery surface. Footballers like to play with the ball skidding along the turf. Seedorf, who's having a bit of an influence at the moment. Then it breaks for Ronald de Boer.
Yeah. Go along with your remarks there, John. Every footballer likes a little bit of cut in the ground. The only people that obviously don't like it is the goalkeepers. It does make the ball zip along the ground.
Clive can put some zip into the Dutch performance. A little slip ball for Seedorf, who will advance and hit it. Oh! Was that a handball? Well, I'm not the one who should be shouting that, but the referee has indicated that it was the chest of Richard Dunn. Must admit, a lot of hearts were in mouths around here, and a lot of Dutch voices were shouting. There weren't penalties the same in any language. It isn't. That's the main thing. Horrible moment for Richard Dunn, I imagine, though.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the last thing he'd want to do, is deliberately handball it, but I think it just popped up and hit him in the chest.
Well, he's acquitted himself well alongside Gary Breen. Remember, Dunn's 3 previous appearances were all in friendly matches, so it's the biggest night of his football life. Seedorf! Over the top. But did Richard Dunn handle the ball a moment or two ago? This might tell us. The referee said no, and he was right, wasn't he, off the chest?
Spot on again. The referee's had a good match tonight. Clearly hit him on the chest there.
It was just the angle of Dunn's arm. This was the angle of Seedorf's shot. Just over the top with Alan Kelly scurrying to get back. Talon forward, but only to Dunn again. Favours the left footing clearing. And Bronkhorst favours the left footing getting it forward for the Dutch. Inside the last 10 minutes of a very interesting game here in Amsterdam. Group 2 of the World Cup qualifiers. All this hopefully leading to an appearance in Korea and Japan.
Just
manages to glide the ball out.
Just worrying now whether Ireland are dropping back too deep. Go back as far as the edge of the box and enough, and then hold your line from there if they have to. But they're actually dropping back right into their own penalty area, and very dangerous game to play that.
Van Bronckhorst. Oh, what a ripper from Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. An unbelievable strike. It took a horrible deflection to confuse Alan Kelly, but Louis van Gaal now senses that the Dutch might not just get a point, they might even win the night. What a goal.
An unbelievable left foot strike. I'm not sure whether it got some sort of deflection or not, but it absolutely flew into the back of the net. Just when I was talking minutes ago about the team dropping off too deep, they've allowed Van Bronckhorst to come in and rifle it into the top corner.
Well, it's an astonishing strike. My initial feeling was that it just took a deflection. It seemed to deviate in mid-air, but now it's the Dutch storming forward and looking for a winner. They've turned it on its head, the game. And it's the Irish who have to show enormous resolve now. A draw would still be a good result, even if they don't go on to win it. But Giovanni Van Bronckhorst has got a candidate for goal of the season for Louis van Gaal there.
Well, we were just saying they're just dropping them off too deep whatsoever. And if they'd have gone and closed them down earlier, Van Bronckhorst wouldn't have got the shots in. But they're dropping off, they're allowing them to come and play round the box. It's a very dangerous situation.
They have a free kick taken already by Ronald de Boer. Talon now will whip it in. And you just sense that the balance has shifted, hasn't it?
Without a shadow of doubt now, but only because of the fact, as I said, I keep harping on about it, that it's either through tiredness, as far as Ireland are concerned, or just strange tactics to drop back so deep and allow the Dutch side to come on top of them, when arguably they were causing them problems when they broke from midfield themselves in the first half.
The ball over the top there was seeking out Robbie Keane.
And just going harping back, John, to what that chance McCarthy must be thinking. You know, if Kilbane takes that chance, you know, they 3-goal lead.
Yeah, 3-1 it would have been if Kevin Kilbane had scored within seconds of the first Dutch goal from Jeffrey Talon. And now at 2-2, it is undoubtedly the Dutch who are on a roll.
They look the sharper side now. Dutch side obviously confidence up now, coming back from the dead, so to speak. And really Van Hol there is getting himself out of jail. But it was a wonderful strike, I have to say that, but I think it was probably a little bit of luck as far as the deflection was concerned.
Yeah, convinced it took a touch off somebody. It would be tough on the Irish if they didn't get something from this match now, because they've given so much to it. And I think it is a question of them just running out of steam a little bit in these last few minutes. I don't think Mick McCarthy has changed anything particularly out there. Told to sit back. They've just been forced back.
Well, we've seen what they can do when they went at the Dutch, didn't they? Caused them all sort of problems with Cobain's pace and Keane playing further up the pitch. And Quinn, it was lovely organisation with Roy Keane and Kinsella dominating the middle of the park. I think tiredness has taken its toll, to be honest, and obviously the Dutch sooner or later had to show something. And they've got better as the game's progressed.
Seedorf, Kluivert, onside, Patrick Kluivert! Goal kick. It was a throw out from Kelly. I thought the ball had gone dead there, but it hadn't. And so here come Ireland again. Staunton, a little tough pass into the path of Keane. Then Connolly will re-find Roy Keane. Is there something for the Irish here? 3 minutes to go. Gary Kelly will knock one across, and the keeper at full stretch manages to punch the ball out directly into the path of his own man Talon. He's not had much work to do, Van der Sar, but he did that well.
He done it well, but he's fortunate that there wasn't another Irish player in sight to knock it back in again.
I think both sides have tired a little bit, and you do wonder in these conditions, of course, with the rain coming down, it's a bit heavier, the pitch.
Well, I think his Seedorf coming on the second half has made all the difference. As far as the Dutch is concerned, they've had more possession of the ball in there. Seedorf has found time to orchestrate things in the middle of the park, get on the end of shots.
Well, he's the man of this moment, isn't he? Giovanni van Bronckhorst with his second goal for his country. He struck 6 for Glasgow Rangers last season. That was one racking strike. 2 apiece it is. The Irish would settle for that, and I suspect the Dutch would settle for it, having gone 2 behind. When Jason McAteer scored, it really did seem as though the Irish were on their way and scenting victory.
You know, and with the Dutch changing over, they've put Ronald de Boer in the middle of the park with Seedorf, and Talon coming on wide right has given them a much better shape, and certainly more know-how in the middle of the park with Seedorf and Boer. Ronald de Boer.
Here they come again. There's an orange tide sweeping forward remorselessly. Ian Hart does well enough to get a touch on that. One thing we haven't seen tonight are any Ian Hart free kicks. I think there was just one in the first half, wasn't there? That was all.
Yeah, just the one that sailed over the top of the bar.
Can Ireland hang on for a point? Here goes Cocu to try and make sure they don't do. Knocked across here, dangerous. Kluivert up for it. Staunton uses experience and nudges the ball away from Tala. Bosvat rolled into Ronald de Boer. Seedorf. Still Seedorf, he's going to have a go now. It's wide. Well, it's bad enough to concede to one long-range strike. That would have been a bit rich. Seedorf, who hasn't actually scored for Holland for more than 2 years. It's 3 minutes to add on, so for all you Irish fans, I'm afraid you've got another 3 minutes to get through.
That'll be the last thing Mick McCarthy wants to see go up, 3 minutes.
People forget often that time is added on for substitutions, and of course we've had 5 in this second half. Oh, great ball! Kluivert looks to finish! Well, we've seen him do that before today. Well, Richard Dunn breathing down Kluivert's neck. But how good defending is this? Kluivert's take, and Dunn, well...
I think it was Kluivert there. It was a wonderful first touch, wasn't it? got the backer done there, but open goal at his mercy and just touched it over the bar. Tremendous opportunity for Kluivert.
He scored a goal very similar to that during Euro 2000, where he brought the ball down and then killed it and struck it into the net.
Well, Kluivert has missed the sitter, and so has Kilbane. So this game could have been 3-3 right now.
Certainly the Irish would settle for 2-2, but here comes Ronald de Boer. He's got Seedorf alongside him. Rather telegraphed the pass, giving the Irish the time that they needed to get in. They have to intervene again defensively though, because Talon is inside Staunton. Oh, and passes it straight to Roy Keane, who's battling to keep possession.
Amazing, John, isn't it? Like Ireland are just desperate for the game to finish, and the Dutch are desperate for the game to continue. And you're looking at both sides now. Dutch seem to have more about them. They've been second best for most of the match.
Van Gaal, as I say, I think he'll be happy with 2-2 after being 2 behind the Dutch seemingly on their knees, but to give them their due, they've shown great character if they do get something from the game. It's going to be a battle royal, I think, in this group with the Portuguese, isn't it? These two sides and the Portuguese.
Yeah, 3 runners in the group, only 2 from 3. We were looking at a different picture only a half hour ago.
They were. And that's the unpredictability of football that people relish so much. And now all of a sudden it's forward here towards Connolly. Frank de Boer able to cover. And this might be the last chance for either side. Mick McCarthy's on the touchline screaming at his players to try and get the ball and keep it inside that Dutch half. But instead of which they are forced back again. Talon, who really brought Holland back into this match with his equaliser. It's into the area, cleared by Gary Kelly, and now by Staunton, who calms things down. Ian Hart will hit it long. Here goes Connolly. He's one-on-one, and Frank de Boer just gets it back in time. And we're inside the last 30 seconds of the time added on by the Slovakian referee Lubos Mikel, who's had a good night.
Yeah, Ireland they'd have been happy before the game, John, to come here and get a result. But,
and they've got a draw. It's ended here, Holland 2, the Republic of Ireland 2. A captivating contest which seemed to have been settled. Robbie Keane with the only goal of the first half. Then Jason McAteer with a classic making it 2-0. Back came Holland though, and Jeffrey Talon reduced the arrears, and in a frantic finish, a fabulous strike by Giovanni van Bronckhorst has won the Dutch their first point in this World Cup qualifying group. But I think at the end of the day, the Irish will settle for that, because they could have been beaten. They could equally have won. But the final score here in the Amsterdam Arena, a good one I reckon, is Holland 2.